Okay. Hey guys, I am here with you today. Kate asked me to jump in and do a bit of movement variation for you guys to supplement your existing training that you've got happening. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of, I guess it's more mobility, movement, breath. I guess a lot of it can feel familiar, like it might feel a bit yoga, it might feel a bit like stretching, but it's actually neither of those things, although it will appear to be like that. Anyway, I'm confusing you. My name's Louise, and I'm going to guide you through about 15 to 20 minutes of a little bit of something different. So we're going to start today with our toes tucked under. So you want to be barefoot for this. If you're not already, kick your shoes off. So toes tucked under, shoulders down and relaxed. And then in this position, as I'm talking, I want you to start breathing into your lower belly. So try and get the breath out of the upper chest and down into the belly. If you want, you can take the hands onto the side. So here like this. If your shoulders don't allow you to internally rotate like this, you can just sort of grab hold of yourself like this, like a little hug. But holding on here into the lower rib cage with these toes tucked under and sitting back. Now these will probably distract you more than the breath, but just try and breathe through it, right? We've got to stretch the bottom of our feet and we never do it. So just breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So you try to breathe into your hands. Breathing in and breathing out. So you guys carry on breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and every time you breathe in, you're trying to breathe into your hands and your lower belly and your side waist. So carrying on there as I'm talking to you. So why do we start with breathing? Because everything starts with the breath. If you don't breathe efficiently and effectively, you can't move efficiently and effectively. And any yogis will have known that for thousands of years. They know that gig. But breathing well is the foundation for all our strength and our fitness. So this is why we start with breath. It also allows you to get really deep into your body, and I want you to be in your bodies today. There's no point, like often when we train, we're kind of lost in the music, or we're lost in the reps, or we're lost in the intensity of the movement, as opposed to actually feeling our body. And right now, I reckon you're feeling your feet. So untuck them and just let them kind of be loose on the floor. You can give them a little tap, just nice and gentle, and then sit back on your heels. If you have dodgy knees, you can always roll up a mat and put it in the back of your leg and then sit back. That may or may not help you. Elevating yourself with a cushion or something may assist you as well. So where are we going to go today? We're going to carry on with breath. We're going to add in some movement. So we're going to go into that classic kind of child's pose. So you're probably quite familiar with this, but we're going to make an active child's pose. So normally when you're in a child's pose movement, you just kind of collapse onto the floor and everything's quite soft. Today, I want you to be right up on your fingertips here. And I want you to sit back nice and wide, keep the legs nice and wide, let the belly hang down in between, but pulling the shoulders back and down. So you can see I'm right up on my fingertips and I'm sitting back, and I want you to again breathe into the belly from this point. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Pulling the shoulders back and down, right up on those fingertips. Sitting in that position, continuing breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Two more breaths there in that position. Again, keeping those shoulders nice and active, and in through the nose and out through the mouth. From there, we're going to drop down into and again, this is what I mean, it's kind of like yoga, right? So Cobra, if you're familiar with that movement, I'm down here, I'm up on my elbows, and then from this position here, I'm just going to draw my shoulder blades down my back and tuck my chin. But my legs are quite loose, and then just passive. So just pulling a little bit down here, but keeping everything fairly loose. Lifting a little bit through the front of the tummy so you're not fully just collapsing down. So I'm pushing a little bit actively through my forearms to allow my shoulders to come back and down. And then from here, all I want you to do again is breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you do it, we're trying to breathe into the belly and the side waist again. So I don't want to see the shoulders like coming up as you breathe in. Not like this, okay? So let those shoulders go back and down, really push them down into your back pockets, breathing into the side waist, into the belly, and out through the mouth. In again. And out. 2 more. You cannot do enough of these, right? And then from here, we're going to come down and extend our arms out. And as we come up, we're going to draw the elbows in and just lift up off the floor, squeezing our arms back into a W shape as you go. Now, when you do this, I don't want the feet to come up off the floor, so there's no Superman thing happening, so you're not doing this. You're keeping the legs fairly passive, but you probably will end up squeezing your glutes to support you. So extend the arms. As you come up, draw the elbows up and back, exhaling, hold and squeeze, and then let it go. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Shoulders back and down. You guys do that 2 more times for me. Breathing in, and as you come down, breathing out, squeeze those elbows back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Go 1 more time. Breathing in, lifting up, breathing out. Nice, okay. So from here, let's go into the upper part of our torso. Again, if you have problems with your knees, use your rolled up mat or towel in the back of here, just to give yourself a little bit of support. So sitting back on your feet, and we're gonna have our hands forward, and from this point, so we're gonna do a cat-cow. So normally you've seen this done maybe like this, but we're just gonna isolate this one to the upper back initially, and so we're gonna keep our bum down. So you're gonna tuck in from here, and then you're gonna extend up. So you roll the chin in, you exhale, push the hands into the floor, and then pull forward, pull the shoulder blades down and back, exhale, lift up. So breathing in, pull, and push. I've done that the wrong way around actually. So yeah, so you pull in, and then kind of push away with your hands. Pull in, push away, really working on keeping these shoulders down out of the ears. So just isolating that upper part of the back as you breathe and move. So keep going now for a few more reps, just really trying to pull those shoulders down, inhaling and exhaling. There's a little bit of weight going through the wrists, so it's going to help warm up the wrists for what we're doing later. 1 more, really curve it up and put it back. Okay, from here we're going to move into the full position, which is probably more familiar to you guys. So full cat-cow, so you're going to tuck. So from here, nice even spread through the hands, hips, don't be too narrow through the hips, just coming here. So pressing evenly, 25% in each limb, and then from here, push away, really tuck that pelvis though. So don't leave that pelvis out, chin tucked, pelvis tucked, and then release and let go, going back the other way. I don't mind how you breathe in this as long as you breathe in and you breathe out. I prefer to breathe out here. Push, tuck that pelvis, tuck, tuck, tuck. And breathe in as I let everything expand and lifting in the opposite direction. Keep going now. These feel really good. These will be like juicy moves, people. Breathing in, breathing tuck that pelvis, push that back away, chin tucked. Do one more of those for me in your own time. Breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful work. Okay, if you're wondering why I keep looking up here, it's because I've got stuff written down so I don't go off topic. One of my worst things is to talk too much and go off topic. So I'm trying to keep this good for Kate. Okay, so now, full puppy stretch. So a puppy stretch is the one where you keep your arse in the air and you stretch out. So normally, again, in this one, it's quite passive. Your hands are flat on the floor and you let yourself just go down, like here. Today, again, we're going to keep it active. So when you're on the edges of your fingers, so you keep your arse in the air, you go down into your edges of your fingers, and I don't want the belly to collapse, so I want you to tuck that rib cage just slightly. So it's the difference between this is passive, you can see, and then this is more active, right up here, slight tuck of that lower belly, keeping those ribs down and breathing there. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep it active. If you need to come out of it, come out, just have a moment, go back in on the edges of your hands, sit back into the hips, tuck those ribs, breathing in, breathing out. Few more seconds here, can't be rushing this stuff, gotta stick with it. Keep going, couple more breaths. We often go so quickly in our training that going slow actually feels mentally and physically a lot harder, which is why we should all do more stretching, right? But we never do. So let's do this instead. It's kind of our halfway house. Okay, so from there, from your puppy stretch, we're going to go into some threads. Again, we're going to make them quite active today. So you're in that all fours position that we've been doing. And then all you're going to do is come down onto your elbow and then push. So this hand here is just pushing gently into the mat and then releasing. And I'm pushing and releasing. If that position is not available to you, you can kind of come down on your shoulder and stretch maybe a little bit more of an elbow stretch here. If you cannot get down onto the floor, then come here and just lift the opposite elbow to try and rotate and open up that upper back and torso. So you're staying on the same side. You want to do 5 to 6 pushes. So I let it go, then I push into that, I let it go, I push into it. And then just gently going to the opposite side. Again, hand onto the floor. This one is just gently pushing my torso around a little bit more, giving me some leverage. Again, if you're here, that's fine. Just keep moving, breathing, moving, breathing. I swear to God, you've all stopped breathing probably at some stage since we started. So just keep that breath coming in and out as you move. Again, 5, 6 kind of little gentle pushes for that. And then we're going to flip over, really work through the wrists and shoulders now. So if you've got any complications going on there, then you've just got to work within your capacity today, or whatever you've been advised by your allied health professional, physio, chiro, whatever, whoever you're working with. If you're not working with someone, make sure you are. Got to get this shit sorted out, right? So fingertips, if you can, I want them pointing towards your toes. From here, we are pushing through the hands and lifting through this part of the torso, actively pushing down. Nothing else is happening yet. Then you're going to just come off the floor half an inch and hold. Breathe and hold, press evenly through the hands. Now if that isn't available to you, i.e. that hand position, you can rotate a little bit and come to somewhere that you can, but I really recommend you try and get into that position, even if it's uncomfortable through here. A lot of us are really closed in through our chest. Even if you do a lot of training, we tend to just be naturally now modern humans. We're all a bit locked in through here, so we really need this opening, chest lifting and opening, and it's tough, right? I get it, but move through it. You can do it. I believe in you. So here I'm pushing through my hands. When I feel ready, just coming off the floor and holding. If you haven't come down and had a break, come down, have a break, come down, and then go up again. And then let's all come down together. Just rotate, so rather than shake the wrists off, just rotate them. Allow the pressure to come off those wrists. And then from here, again, fingertips pointing forward. We're going to do the same thing, lift through the chest, hover off the floor, but this time fully extend the hips up, pushing through that pelvis, evenly through the feet, and then come down. Again, let that pressure off. We're going to do that 3 times. So, fingertips towards the toes, lift through the chest, hover off the floor, hips to the sky, lift and breathe, coming down. Let's go one more time now. So again, let that pressure off. She said, shaking her hands after telling you not to. It's not lost on me. Okay, so fingertips towards the toes, lifting through that torso, lift through that chest, hovering off the floor, and lift and extend. Breathe here, really driving through both feet as evenly as you can, lifting those hips up to the sky. Nicely done, coming down. Okay, let's have a look at the time. My goodness, I've already done 16 minutes. There's no way this is going to be 20, Kate. More like 25. Okay, we are into a 90-90 position now. By this I mean there should be space for another human to sit here. I don't want to see this with the heel is close to the knee. Open that up, so it's an open position. There should be this much space, which is the same length as your other shin, in front of you here. So we can often be, like you can see my leg, knee comes up, and sometimes, you know, if you're in yoga and stuff, they get you to support that. We don't need that today, so just use your hands to support you. Saying that, if you need some support, yoga blocks or a couple of evenly sized books, just to help you lift up. So you're pressing through the floor. So if you need those, then take those. So pressing through the fingertips in this 90-90 position. And what I want you to do is lean forward over that front leg. And as you do that, you're going to lift up the back leg. Let me show you what that looks like on the side. So I'm in this 90-90 position. I'm supported. I'm leaning forward over that front leg. And all I do is lift the heel off the back. Hold there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. And then I want you to lift this leg off the floor as much as you can without too much of this happening. Again, if you need some support, then take some support and just try and lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming forward and lift at the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift at the front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. At the back, lifting up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, keeping the feet on the floor. You're going to swivel and switch it down to the other side. I'm going to move so you can see. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, side to side, our hips feel different. So if you're super tight through the hips, like most of us are, and I am included, it doesn't feel great this, but you've got to do it because otherwise we're never going to get open up through the hips. So again, for this one, I'm leaning across that front shin. As I do that, lifting up that back leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then coming back and up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So much harder for me on this side. Going forward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you need to help yourself, you saw what I just did there, and I actually just helped my foot to come up. So it's just helping a little bit if you need to, but try as much as you can to do it without any assistance. And going forward. Okay, we're going to move into some hip switches controlled. Often people do these really quickly and they're just using momentum rather than strength and stability to do it. So I'm about hip width apart. I go down, pushing both knees to the floor. My feet stay on the floor and I'm pushing both knees down to the floor. I'm up on my feet, sorry, I don't know Don't know the parts of my body. And knees down to the floor again. So exhaling, lifting. So if you end up like switching like this, then you're just using momentum. There's a time and place for momentum, and this isn't it. So I can use some momentum, but you can see I'm going fairly slow. I'm controlling the movement's not controlling me. That's what mobility is. Strength in the end ranges, not all about flexibility. It's just moving through these joints, keeping things going. Okay, coming up, we're going to move into the reason why we're doing all these stretches, so stay with them. They are building up. This is our warm-up to do a flow sequence, which we're going to put in at the end. Okay, so you're going to be in a 90 open gate position. This is my lunge position, and then it open here. So in this open gate position for me, I'm going with my left leg first. Make sure you can actually see me, my left leg first. And I'm going to dive under. So my right arm's coming under. I'm pushing my knee forward over my toe. My top hand comes over my head. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing the opposite direction. So my knee's going that way, but my arm's lifting my torso the other way. From there, I'm going to swivel my back leg in, and I'm going to pick up my toe and pull into a hamstring stretch. Swivel my back leg back, and then I'm pushing out over that toe, and then we're going to swivel, support ourselves into a hamstring stretch. Now we're going to do this about 10 times using our breath. Obviously I'm talking, but I want you guys inhaling and exhaling, making this movement work with your breath. Again, you can take as much support as you need to here, like you can take some hamstring support, you can put a cushion under your knee if you need to, if you've got dodgy knees, but as much as possible, start trying to figure out where your body needs a bit of love through the old joints. Like I said, we're doing about 10 rotations of this, so like most trainers, I can't count, but that's okay. Let's do one more. Okay, so to the other side. Open gate position. From here, I'm going to thread my opposite hand, push into here, pushing across. I'm pushing across and letting my knee go over my toe. What we're always told not to do, right? So keeping the heel down, don't let the heel come up. Push back into that hamstring, swiveling through that back foot. I like to exhale as I lean in, inhale as I'm in the hamstring, but you can go any way you want, just as long as you breathe. Inhaling, exhaling. Make it smooth, yeah? Smooth moves. Again, who knows what we're on, right? Let's do 2 more. Nice. Woo! Those will have waked your hips up, won't they? Okay, now we're going to do a deep lunge position. And again, you need to take whatever support you need for this. So you can have your books, as long as they're of the same height, or yoga blocks. You can even probably use dumbbells on end, as long as they feel quite stable. Don't go and like break a wrist doing this. Okay, so deep lunge position. One leg's going back. I'll do it this way. One leg's back, one leg's forward. The knees on the floor. You're up on your blocks. And then all I'm wanting to do is tuck the toe of the back leg and then pop it straight. But when you do that, I don't want the hips to come up. So we're really trying to keep the weight forward in this position and just pop and extend there. So that's it. So I don't want to see that happening, okay? So keeping the front shin vertical, pop that back leg up and then come down. So pop it up, nice and straight, come back down. Look how slowly I'm moving, so don't just collapse, okay? Just try and really squeeze, pushing back into that heel, and then let the knee come down gently. Let's work 5 or 6 reps. So let's do 2 more. Again, let's check in, let's find out what the chin's doing, what the shoulders are doing. 1 more, and on this one we're going to hold for 10 seconds. So pop, push it out, and hold. 4, 8, 7, 6. You can feel I'm shaking. 3, 2, 1. Nice. If you were using supports on that one, let's try and just do another round, but either on a lower level of support. So I was up on my high end then, so maybe try coming down. Or if you're on the floor on your fingertips, try on being on the floor, just on your palms, or no support at all, depending on where you are at. So from here, you just pop into the hip and down, pop and squeeze, pushing back into that heel. Pop and squeeze. Certainly start to realise how tight your hips are when you do stuff like this. And on the last one, you pop up and you try and hold. 4, 5, 4, 3. I said 10, didn't I? 2, 1. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. Okay, swap it up, other side. Again, respond to the side of your body that you're on because they can often feel different, so you might need more support this side or less support. So work with your body, figure it out. Into that position, deep lunge position. As I come up, I'm just going to pop that foot out behind me, keeping my hips down as I go. So hips stay down. And just pop it up, squeeze into the heel, lift that hip, extend, and come down. Pop, lift, extend. Pop, lift, extend. Excuse my sniffing. I'm not sick, I promise. It's like massive hay fever season at the moment, so if there's any hay fever sufferers out there, you have my full sympathy. I don't think I get it. I think as I've got older, I've probably developed more hay fever-like symptoms. Age is on my mind. It's my birthday next week. We should have a guess the age competition. We should do that actually. If anybody can guess my age correctly, you can have a free PT session with me. Okay, so on this one I'm holding up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do one more round of that. So again, either dropping down here. So drop down a level of on your platform wherever you were on. I think I still need to be up here. Funny how one side to the other feels so different. Again, just squeezing that heel back, right? So extending that leg straight as you can. And then on the 5th or 6th one, you're holding up for like 10 seconds. So on this one, I'm going to hold, lifting up through my torso, strong through my legs and my foundation, holding up there, breathing steady, pushing through that back leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. Ooh. Right, I'm going to have a little sip of water. You guys do the same. We're nearly at our flow. So, this one will be familiar to you. Just walk your dog. So in that downward dog, very loose downward dog position, pushing up through the hands, and then just walking that dog. So you don't have to do the full yoga, hips high, down to the back, all that jazz. Like just heel to the floor, stretching out the back of the legs, Okay, let's have a look at this flow sequence. I'm going to break it down. Ideally, I will go through the flow sequence for you, and then I want you to set a timer and do as many rounds of this as you can in 5 minutes. So I'm not going to, because of the length of this video, I'm just going to cut it short, but I will tell you how to do it, and then I want you to do a 5 minute, as many rounds as possible. You can use this flow sequence as a warm-up, a cool down, or even a very short workout in itself, combined with a few other things, and it's perfect to get the heart rate up. So we are going to start in that downward dog position. So downward dog, again, soft bend of the knee. And then what I want you guys, okay, come this way. We're going to do some side hip switches. So let's just take this down a second, down onto all fours. So a hip switch, a kick through, is this. It's when you do, so I'm going to lift up my right hand and I'm going to kick through my left. So I go underneath, I kick under. Now, you can break this movement down and do something called a hip switch. So you're just in all fours, tuck the toes under, and you drop the hip to the floor. So you're up, and you drop to the floor. So that is just like your beginner's movement, and you can see my opposite hand comes up to my face. I call this jazz hands. Jazz hands. Okay, if you're doing a full kick through, your leg extends out. All fours, hand up, leg out. Very, very quick. So maybe spend some time just practicing those before we begin. You can do that for a couple of minutes. So the beginning part of the flow is you're in downward dog, and then we do a side or hip kick through both ways. So let's just do that together. So in this downward dog position, I come forward, so I drop into that all fours position. So downward dog, I drop into that all fours. I under switch, so I'm kicking under, and then I kick under the other way. Okay, did everyone get that? Let's go again from the top. So down into all fours, I'll do the hip switch version now. So here, drop to the all fours, drop to the hip, drop to the hip, lift the hand. Okay, you guys have another go of that whilst I'm talking you through the next bit. So you're either doing downward dog, down into the all fours position, kick it under, or just a hip through, kick it under the other way, or a hip through. And then what we're doing is you go back into the downward dog, and you're going to take your right hand and touch your left toe. So your right hand, left toe, and then your right foot comes forward. So you go here, downward dog, touch, back into this lunge that we've been working on so beautifully. So what I've done, just from the side, I'm in my downward dog, I touch my toe, my foot comes forward, and I pull my elbow back. Remember those W's we did at the beginning? Pulling it back. Then I come back into my downward dog, and then the opposite foot touches. And then I come forward with that leg, and again a W pull, and I'm pushing back into that all fours position, and that's the end, and we start again. Let's talk through the whole sequence and do it together, and then as you begin to build confidence in the movement, you can start moving a little bit quicker, which creates a flow. Okay, so all fours position, push back into your downward dog. Okay, get comfy, walk your dog. From here, down to that all fours, hover hold, kick through, all fours, kick through, back into your downward dog, touch your left toe, right foot comes forward, arm lifts up, downward dog, touch your right toe, left foot comes forward, bring the elbow back, then back down into that all fours position, back to the top at the beginning, and then down into all fours, kick it out, toe touch, foot forward, back into all fours, toe touch, foot forward, quad, dog. And we go again. down to all fours, kick or hip it down, kick, and then from here we touch the right toe, bring the left toe, bring the right leg forward, come down into a downward dog, touch that toe here and drive it up, kick back into that quad. I'm going to do it without speaking and show you on the side on view, and then you guys are going to set a timer and do this for 5 minutes. Okay, so high into my dog, drop into my quad. I said I wasn't going to talk, I'll shut up. I feel like I may have missed something out on that one. It's really funny, I'm not used to doing it so broken down. I usually just flow with it, but that's what we're doing, that's the flow. You're going to set a timer for 5 minutes now and see how you get on. And I want you to finish on some breath again. So just sitting in the position we started in, hands to the ribs, and I want you to really work on slowing your breath down. That's really going to elevate your heart rate. So I want you to try and find, and when you finish your 5-minute AMRAP, put your hands here, steady the breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I want to focus on doing longer exhales as your heart rate comes down. It's been awesome sharing this time with you guys. I hope this video is useful. Remember, if you can guess my age, you can have a free PT session with me. Take care. Have a great time with this, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help. See ya.